What's up, guys? Welcome to the James Beaudrie podcast, where I sit down with people from all walks of life to talk about their stories, experiences, and ideas. This podcast is brought to you by Watson Motors, the official studio sponsor. If you're in need of a Jeep, Ram, or Dodge, or whatever, these guys have you covered with great deals and even better service. So hit them up in Manistee, Benzie, or Ludington, or check them out online at watsonmotors.com. Listen, support the people that support the show. Now let's get into it. I went swimming this morning and had some brekkie with the girls and then came down here and fucked around on the computer.
Great.
Kid show. You comfortable? You want to take your shoes off?
This is fine. Thank you.
I told Betsy, I said, well, we probably have to chew the rag for about 20 minutes, and then I'll delete all that stuff, and then he'll be comfortable. This is the third time you've been on, so.
Repeat guest.
Mm-hmm. You what?
I don't know.
You were going to say something.
Well, I had things lined up in my head, and then I had to talk about work for an hour, and that kind of brushed everything that is interesting out of my head.
Well, maybe it'll come back to you as we get going.
I hope so.
Let me just tell you a quick story about this morning.
Okay.
Maybe that'll break the ice a little bit.
Please do.
Dude, did you see my Strava?
From this morning? No.
Yeah. So I went for a swim this morning. About
2,000 yards?
I didn't do 2,000. I did about 1,100. Between the piers there at First Street. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Or the Dog Beach or whatever.
Yep.
And I say Dog Beach.
Yep.
I had just started. I was almost to the stump pier in about 10 foot of water. Just really just kind of starting to get into it. That first 300 yards is always
Yeah.
But I'm zoned in on a ladder, and I'm not paying attention to anything but just keeping my strokes and dude.
Are you in the channel?
Yeah.
You're south of the stub pier?
South of the I always gotta get this
right in front of the arms, then there's the stub.
Yeah.
And you're in this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
The middle part there. In 10 foot of water, I got attacked by a fucking dog.
What?
So I am just swimming, right? Just kind of in my zone. And I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
But I just finally found a good stroke. And I'm just looking at, and I could see the red ladder, because it's when I'm going that way, I look at the ladder. When I'm going north, I look at the green onion.
Okay.
To kind of make sure and dude, I had some fucking grab my leg. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I was getting attacked by a shark, dude. I turn around and there's this black lab.
Yeah.
On me.
Yeah.
And I'm I can't touch, and I'm freaking out, what the fuck? And I turn and look, and there's a guy standing with two other dogs on leashes, sorry.
The dog thought it was helping you.
Or the dog was playing. It was just a lab.
Yeah.
I'm not pissed at the dog. I was pissed at the owner. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. And I got my earplugs in, and I'm screaming, what the fuck? In the water, flailing. What the fuck, dude?
How far did the dog jump off the pier? What happened?
It came from the shore.
It's swam out.
This episode is brought to you by Brandon Ball, broker-owner of Dwelling Realty, Keller Williams, Northern Michigan. Are you looking to sell your home? Then look no further. When you list your home with Brandon Ball, you'll get a trusted advisor who will guide you through the entire selling process. With extensive knowledge of the local market, he'll help price your home competitively to attract the right buyers. And with proven marketed strategies, your home will be seen by the most qualified of buyers. With 17 years in the business, you'll have someone experienced who's on your side. Contact Brandon today to get started selling your home. 231-690-4981. That's 231-690-4981. Or Brandon at dwellingrealty.com. This episode is brought to you by Trailhead Bike Shop. Trailhead Bike Shop is an old school independent bike shop owned and operated by two supremely rad humans, Kyle and Lynette Nichols. They're a full-service shop offering quality bicycles while providing quality service at a fair price. They strive to provide great customer service and build relationships within the community. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. No matter what kind of cycling you're doing, be it on the road or getting after it on gravel, Trailhead Bike Shop is the shop you need to check out. You can find them at 216 West Ludington Avenue, Ludington, Michigan. You can get a hold of them at 231-845-0545 or trailheadbikeshop.com. And got behind me, heard nothing. Well, I have earplugs in.
Did it bite you, or was it like, did it hit you with its paw?
I think it was his paw claw type deal and got me. He didn't bite me.
He thought he was helping you.
Oh, he thought he was doing something. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey. I mean, scared the absolute shit out of me, dude. And then my heart's pounding.
Yeah.
And I'm in the fucking lake and I can't,
take a break.
I can't like stop and like touch the ground. So
Did you have your float on?
I had my float on, yeah. I was in my wetsuit, so it's not like I was going to go under, but still.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me.
Yes, that would be scary.
And all the guy did was go, huh?
Sorry. What do you want me to do? My hands are full.
Yeah. Well, how about, Spike? Don't go out there, I mean, I came out of my wetsuit, dude. I was terrified. I thought it was a freshwater shark.
Yeah. Muskie. Pike.
God.
Angry beaver.
Something. But, well, there was my morning story.
That's probably the warm part to swim in right now. The river's probably pretty warm at this point of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be
warmer
warmer than the water.
wetsuit.
The water was freezing.
Yeah.
Out in the lake.
Yeah. But I'm like, took me right out of my skin, bro. Right out of my skin. I don't know, we're getting there. There was one thing I wanted. Where's my phone? Are you aware of, I saw this on Facebook the other day and I took a screenshot of it. Because I'm not really as dialed in as you are with the local happenings. The road survey audit from MDOT.
I saw, which one?
Well, this one's got like the suggestions.
Where they're going down to 2 lanes instead of
hawk signal, yeah. Like, I don't know what some of this stuff means, like road diet and existing 4-lane sections, and reduced driveways and blah blah blah. But one of the things that jumped out at me when I saw this was install a roundabout at US 31 and Memorial Drive.
31 and Memorial Drive.
So that's this. I took a picture.
That's by Burger King, right?
Is it there or isn't Memorial? So that is Veterans Memorial Drive. Well, what about this?
But Memorial Drive comes out on Lakeshore, not 31.
Well, Memorial Drive is right here. This is the 31 bridge coming over, and this is Memorial Drive. Are they talking about right there?
I'd hope not. It's just, I don't know. It seems like more trouble than it's worth.
I mean, I kind of hope it's real just for the Facebook comments.
Oh, it'll
and
be
fodder.
good. Yeah, it'll be good.
Over
if the
by
rail
Burton.
relocation ever happens,
that's the other thing I want to talk to you about.
That part's going to heat up. That part of town.
But I mean, if they put a roundabout at Burger King there, so you're talking about coming off of Memorial Drive onto Lakeshore then?
Yeah, I mean that's a township. That's probably a township and state discussion, not a city and state discussion. But right there gets pretty backed up. You have a lot of traffic trying to get out of Orchard Beach State Park and turn left, and it gets pretty backed up there. And then when a train goes through, or like anybody stops at the railroad crossing, it's a mess. That's messy. That's messy. I'm not a traffic expert.
No.
It's not why you had me on, though.
I wanted
expertise. Right?
I wanted
It's
to
for my
wind up
opinions.
some people. Your opinions are gold. I'm down for a roundabout. I do pretty good going through them. So
Yeah, you've gotten good.
Yeah, I've gotten better.
Always go to the right, not the left.
Go to the right, not the left.
Yeah.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
You know.
I was totally spaced out. I was driving. Where was I? I was someplace in the country, totally spaced out, and it was like there was tons of traffic going one way, and there was nothing in the oncoming lanes. And so before I even knew it, like I pulled into the wrong driveway, and then I needed to get to the next driveway over. So before I knew it, I just snuck out of the driveway, took a left, and was like driving in oncoming traffic lane to get to the next driveway instead of like going over to the left turn lane or getting in the correct lane. But I don't know. I like came back to it once I was in the right driveway, and I was like, I just kind of botched that whole thing. That was not.
It's like going the wrong way on River Street.
Yeah. Before you know it, people are like, "What are you doing?"
I don't know how many times I was leaving Manistee Beverage and almost turned east.
Yeah. You look down a road, there's no cars. I mean, how are you supposed to know?
I'm not from around here. That's what I always say when I'm out of town. I'm not from around here. I don't know. I'm new here. What are you gonna do? Can you talk about the railroad deal there?
All I know is what's been published.
Which I don't know.
My opinion.
I don't read
is,
anything that's published. I ask questions.
You know, there's a rail yard on both sides of 31 on the north side of town, and it takes up. I mean, the right of way takes up a huge space on both sides. It basically occupies all the lakefront property, which people will talk about Manistee Lake in a negative light, that it's not a nice lake. I mean, it's a perfectly fine lake.
I grew up on it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of recreational opportunities that are unrealized, and if that railroad goes away, that real estate is going to become a lot more valuable, and the surrounding area will be a lot more valuable. Obviously, I meing, the first thing I would probably, my projection would be that it goes into residential. I think that there's plenty of mixed commercial real estate existing available around here, in open lots that probably would be better suited for, you know, whatever strip mall type shops go in there. So I would look at it like stacks of condos or townhouses. And if you don't have a railroad going through there, I mean, 31 will shape up. It'd be a nice spot to develop there.
So when you say when the railroad goes away, it's not going away. It's just
the railroad will be going away in that location. It'll be a southern route, safer southern route.
Now, has that route already kind of been established to, like, if we do this move, this is where we'd put it? Do you know?
Nothing's established until it's built.
Yeah.
But it's proposed would be around the southern end of the lake to go up and service the facilities on the east side of the lake, and then on the west side of the lake, instead of going all the way around the north end, goes around on the south side. So how that happens is yet to be determined.
Who the hell built that thing?
What's that?
I mean, how long has that railway been there?
Oh,
since
Manistee.
So we've just been building around it forever.
Yeah. Well, there used to be commercial service. That obviously that was how people got around, was on rail. And so if you didn't have a car in your garage, how do you get to Onekama? You either get on a boat, walk, ride your horse, or get on a train.
So where does the funding come from? Is it just like from everything, from donations, from government, from
I would guess this
taxes?
Project's not going to get a ton of donations because it's a commercial enterprise. So you've got the railroad owns it. Mm-hmm. It's, I think, owned by one company and operated by another, Marquette Rail, and then you have the customers using the rail around the lake. So, I mean, it doesn't, I guess, my perspective as a taxpayer would be, if we get rid of this rail through downtown Manistee and through the north side of town, there will be a public benefit of developing that property into a more desirable use than a rail yard. So federal and state public dollars, I would see I would feel would be appropriate to spend on that as any other infrastructure project. The swing bridge, I think that, that's been advertised. It's 100 years old, if not over 100 years old. There's a crossing on the Little Manistee River. There's a crossing on the Big Manistee River. All those bridges are, original, pretty much original. So that infrastructure gets older every day.
If it comes down to like obsolete railway, meaning those bridges, for example, like if it gets to the point where it's like we got to get millions of dollars to rebuild this, kind of like what we did with our bridges here. Yeah. At that point, it would probably make more sense to be like, why don't we just reroute this thing?
Sure. I would say so.
Yeah.
The bridges don't become obsolete. They reach the end of their life, and eventually they'll get too rusty. If you walk under any overpass in the United States, you can look at the beams and see that things are old and falling apart.
Yeah, and the railroad's not going to pay for it to move it, because if
I don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is, I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
No, why would you?
Why would I? Why would I spend all that money to reroute the thing when it's working just fine?
Sure.
So we got to have lobbyists. We have lobbyists that are getting after this?
I would guess, yeah. Okay. I would say we do.
You don't want to say shit, though. All this stuff, he knows he knows what's behind the curtain, folks.
It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate for me to comment.
Here we go. That's why I can't have anybody come on to talk about anything locally, because they're all fucking scared.
Well, you got to maintain relationships.
Yeah.
That's not the only reason.
I just hope in my lifetime, which I doubt, but I would hope that by the time I'm 75, I'll be able to ride my bike on a nice trail.
That's the exciting part. The exciting part of getting it moved would be the recreational side of what do we do with that rail bed, and also the real estate side and the development side. I mean, I don't know if you put anything in the same hands for 100 years. I mean, the value of it to a community doesn't keep up with inflation, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. You could look up what the tax rate is on that piece of property, but it would be much more valuable to the community if it was condos, and still be able to service the customers around the lake. So, it's a.
I think you could do both. You could have housing, and you can have condos, and you can have a trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Who wouldn't want a bike trail, walking trail close to where they live, and it would connect you with downtown. You wouldn't have to walk. You see some of these people walking along 31.
Yeah.
It's miserable. I mean,
it's horrible. The
sidewalks are just covered in road debris.
Yeah.
And you're 3 feet away from a logging truck or a car with a camper. Shade. Nobody's paying attention.
No,
I mean, it
sucks.
We've got a lot of work to do on the 31 corridor in terms of walkability, and I think that the current plan is there and it's all worked in. It's just a matter of getting it done, and it's one piece at a time, and that I think can be really frustrating for people. But
so you're saying, because again, I haven't read anything. So you're saying that there is a plan?
Yeah, I think the new 31 corridor plan has
moving of the
separated walkways off the road, not on the side of the shoulder, like a gap 5-6 feet, then the sidewalk. I think that does include a protected bike lane. But
that's
again,
clutch.
Until it's done, you don't know. There's always lofty goals, right?
Yeah.
Streetscape. He's got all kinds of crazy sunbathing benches and an elevator to get up to platforms and places for vendors, and then you get the price tag, and then where's the money come from? So then you just end up with pavers again. It's gonna be great. I'm not casting shade on what the streetscape is going to be, but it's just not.
Well, it's piecemeal. I mean, it's going to take time. It's going to be over of course a number of years, and people just have to be patient. But you put
the options out there, though. It's sometimes I can see why people get frustrated. You put all these options out with these great assets, and
it's a dream sheet. this is what
Well,
we
sure.
want. Ultimately, if we could have everything on this sheet, this is what it would be.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
a little bit more than we thought it was going to be.
Well.
Or that we knew it was going to be high,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of the fuck thing about that, because then everybody sees it and they're like, oh, and then 10 years from now they go, wait a minute, you said that we
Yeah.
were going to have.
You told us we were going to have an elevator.
Yeah.
Well.
Elevators cost money, a lot of money.
Yeah. Then you got to maintain it. So.
Well, I look at, like, Betsy and I were talking, I don't know, like a week or so ago. I'm really enjoying the school forest out in Ludington.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, how can we get something like that in Manistee? Now, listen, I like the non-motorized, right? It's a little bit of a poke. It's out of the city.
Yeah.
You got to,
Yep.
it's kind of a mission to get out there. I like Big M Trailhead.
Yep.
Do a lot of shit out there, but again, it's a half-hour-ish drive to get out there and then get set up and do your thing or whatever. But like that school forest or Cartier Park, I mean, the work that Shoreline has done with, I'm assuming that's all Shoreline that put the...
It's been through the years. I don't know if it's been exclusively Shoreline, but through the years, there's been a lot of work from Shoreline Cycling Club
Now-
and individuals in Shoreline Cycling Club specifically.
Right.
So,
Shout out to Tom.
well, that all happens as somebody has an idea and they get that it didn't. All of that work didn't get done overnight.
Right.
I mean, I can remember being a co-op and going down and riding in Ludington and meeting Todd for the first time. He's out there covered in mosquitoes with a Roco, like cutting through and making a trail, and a quarter mile at a time is how that stuff gets made.
So when we were having our discussion about like how cool that is there, because it is really rad, and it gets a shitload of use.
Yeah.
There are little places here and around the city, I think, or Filer Township, that could, like the old Morton property
Yep.
that Habitat has now.
Yep.
Dude,
That would have been a good spot.
I mean, I almost feel like it still could be.
Sure.
So we were sitting there talking about that. I'm like, man, like, how could you get your hands on it, or just, somebody just take it on as a, like a nonprofit comes in somehow and scoops up that land. But then it's like, well, I didn't realize that, like, literally Todd and some of the guys from Shoreline go into the woods and cut all that shit up. I thought you needed, like, to hire, like, a trail developer.
Well,
Because I know people like
trail
that exist.
developers are just people. So at the end of the day, everything just comes down to somebody.
Yeah.
There's not a fog that like trail developers just come out of one day. I mean, it starts out with people doing it as a passion project. And then if they're, I guess I would say lucky, some people would say unlucky enough to then have to do it full time. It's big money and there's a lot of red tape. There's
Yeah, I feel like it would be really
the
difficult.
liability
Yeah.
side of things is the first word that everybody talks about when it comes to trail development. You have the liability of the landowner, the municipality, and whoever develops the trail, and then the individual themselves. So, there's no shortage of liability and no shortage of litigation going on in the world right now. I don't know if you saw in the news, but one of the victims from the Walmart stabbing has lawyered up with Morgan & Morgan, and that's going to be like,
Because it's Walmart's fault.
well, who knows? Who knows? That's the question, right? Who knows whose fault it is and who knows fault is going to be established on paper. But next time you go into a Walmart, you're probably going to have to go through a metal detector. I'm just speculating.
That's right.
But reaction to overreaction.
I think we're just way over sanitized and way over, like, everything. It's like you got to we live in a bubble.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but what you're talking about, though, like, just to build a fucking trail, now there's all this liability
Yeah.
because some dummy hits a tree on a bike,
Well-
and it's not his fault, it's the tree's fault on the property, so somebody's got to pay for it.
Well, and you attach your organization's name or your personal name. People want to be protected, and people want to know that I don't know, I guess in a trail development sense, like you're putting a good faith into putting together a good trail, but at the end of the day, it's a risky activity. So
Right.
you're going to get on a mountain bike and go out into the woods all day, right? Pedaling, and you got all these like mechanical elements that are working and gravity, and you're flying through the air, and then you're flying past trees, and then you crash, and it's the trail builder's fault, right? Maybe. That's what people worry about.
That's what people worry about.
And that's why it has to be sorted out.
Sign a waiver every time you go in the woods.
It takes a long time to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, I suppose. It's always nice to have these ideas, and then you come in and sit down and say, oh, well, everybody's going to get hurt. So.
Well, I don't want to get that branding. I'll give you an example. So out at Big M, we take care of the trails out at Big M.
And we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for thanking me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's parts of that trail that were developed 30, 40 years ago, and people went out there and basically scratched a line in the woods. And then that became the Big M hiking trail, which eventually became the Big M biking trail. And then there was some passionate cross-country skiers that went out there and established cross-country skiing trails. And and through the ages, this kind of became like an intermingle, multi-use trail system. So you've got hikers out there, bikers. In the wintertime, you've got snow bikers, cross-country skiers. People will go out there and
run.
Hike up. Well, they'll run. They'll hike up to the top of the old ski lift dump and do some backcountry skiing. Excuse me. So basically, you've got these trails now that were built for hiking, and you're doing mountain biking on them, and that hasn't been all good. I mean, you can go out there and parts of the trail are like, dug out, and there's erosion, and we've learned a lot about trail development and trail construction in the last 30, 40 years. So we've established some parts of that trail that could be better, and that starts out with an idea and some people saying, well, it'd probably be better if instead of going straight down the hill, we do some switchbacks. It'll be easier to ride, be more enjoyable to ride up because you're not going straight up a hill, and it'll help with erosion, and it'll make a safer trail, a less risky trail, I'll say that. So then you've got to go and get with the landowner. We've worked with the U.S. Forest Service, and they've been great. We've got a great recreational technician. I think it's his title out there that we're working with, Reese. And
Reese is good shit. Shout out to Reese. Roll on.
Everybody at the office has been helpful, but the best case is like 2 years, because we got to review it at the local level. Then we got to go through and edit it, and then it's got to be sent to the area supervisor and the section supervisor and the recreation supervisor, and you got to make sure it's not on an ancient elk migration path, and you got to go out and make sure there's no endangered wildlife or animals. So all of that stuff just takes time, and so while that's going on, you got volunteers that come and go, and they're like, well, I want to go out and fix this trail. Well, you can't. It's going to take a while. So then they move or lose interest or decide to work on something else instead. So that's why it takes so long. But we've had a disciplined group of people that have really focused on it, and we've done the paperwork, and we're starting to see results out there. So I think it's been good. Yeah,
I've been on the sections that you guys have done the switchbacks on.
Yep.
Really cool. Really great.
Yeah.
In fact, last week when I ran out there, we ran up that instead of going up the middle, we ran the switchback, which was a pain in the ass.
Sure.
Because you're going back up and then back up and then back up
the
whole way. But super nice. And blasting down that hill, going down the switchbacks.
Yeah.
Fucking tits, dude. Good job.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'll pass that on to the volunteers.
Tell them. Tell them it.
I will tell them, and I would say this to anybody that's not familiar with how that structure works out there. When you pay your $5 to park in the parking lot, that 100% goes to the Forest Service. The Forest Service does a really good job maintaining the vault toilet, maintaining the parking lot, maintaining the trailhead area, but none of that money really goes into the trails themselves. We've had really great partnership with the Forest Service. We, get them to help with equipment. They help with some mowing. I think we've got some trail material, gravel and things like that. But if you go out to Big M or any of the trails and enjoy the trails, those are maintained by volunteers. There's not money in the budget, the federal budget, to go out there and maintain mountain bike trails. So if you go out and enjoy them, I would encourage you to donate, become a member of the Shoreline Cycling Club and be part of that work, whether you're from here or anywhere.
So you're the president of the Shoreline Cycling Club.
I am.
So
short straw.
Well, why don't you just give me a breakdown, the Shoreline Cycling Club, when did it start and your evolution in it?
I'm by no means a historian. They've been around quite a while. I don't know how long. I would guess at least 20 years. And they serve all the way down like south of Ludington, out towards Wellston. We maintain the Big M Trail Network. We maintain the North Country Trail from through Big M. It might be all the way up to like Tippy Dam area, and then back down to all the way down to US 10. So it's a big section. We have the Ludington School Forest. We have the non-motorized trail park. And, members volunteer for other trail sections as well. And every rider that goes out is also volunteering, because they stop and throw sticks. They report trees that are down. They carry a saw to cut up limbs that they can. And most volunteers donate their time. Most riders that are members will donate their time also to some sort of grooming, whether that's riding a groomer, going through preseason and cutting branches that are encroaching on the trail, raking out erosion. They donate their time to things like 906 Adventure Team. There's local racing events that they volunteer for. They volunteer for our race. They ride our race. The Ludington Safety Water Waves and Water Day, like it's a day they get together, and the Shoreline Force, their focus, they're part of our club, and their focus is child safety on bikes. And so they have
Is it Allison's?
Yes.
Allison Sports. Shout out to Allison.
Helminski. Yes.
Get it right, James.
Yes. So they have kids out. They teach them bike safety, how to ride safely in traffic, what to expect from cars, what cars should expect from them. They do a safety check for their helmet and their bikes. Then the Ludington Public Safety has water safety as well. It's a cool event. Just keep your eye on Facebook for when the next one is. It'll be next spring.
Yeah.
So part of that is they also have a pedal pad for like toddlers, and so there's toddler sized bikes, and there's it's like a little road track that they can go practice riding.
Oh, no shit.
It's a cool thing for kids and toddlers, young kids to do.
Is it portable? Or
it is portable. They set it up.
Set in a specific spot.
They set it up in one spot, I think, seasonally, and break it down, I think. But it's there right now.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Pretty sure.
So how much time do you spend on the non-motorized trail cleaning it up? Because I feel like every time you come home from a work trip, you're out there mowing.
It takes a ton of time. Takes a ton of time to do it right. I don't have time to do it right, but I mow it 2 to 3 times a year. We've been really well supported from the Community Foundation, the Minger Grant. So we have a tow behind brush hog and have a lawnmower that was donated, and I donate my equipment as well. So I don't know, it'd take like 4 hours to go out there and mow, and just to keep the grass down. And then it's a pretty freshly cut forest, so there's a lot of undergrowth that's really competing for sunlight, so it will grow out into the trail, so you have to cut the edges of the trail back. And you can usually do that with a brush hog, but sometimes you have to like actually cut things out.
How big is that trail? The only reason I asked that is 'cause I've never actually been on the trail, but gone there and rode out of there, but never actually gone on the trail. I think Betsy said that she's cross-country skied out there in the past, but
the trail's designed for skate cross-country skiing.
What the hell is that?
So the trail's groomed, I don't know, 8 to 12 feet wide, and corduroys, so that you can actually skate cross-country ski. Inline classic skiing's like the old Nordic track.
Yeah.
And skate
I had
skiing
one of
is,
those.
like you're skating, so you push out. So it's kind of it's really flat, and I think if you do a figure 8, it's about 5 miles.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
it's a good track for beginners and advanced people that just want to go out there and crank out some miles skiing. If the snow gets deep enough, we'll put in tracks. One of the exciting things, so we just got a grant through the Community Foundation funded by the Minger family, and we just purchased a new Polaris Titan snowmobile to pull the groomer. This is a $16,000 snowmobile, and we also got approval. We partnered with the city to build a grooming shed out there. So we'll be building a 18 by 25 foot metal building to store the groomer in, and all of the mowing equipment. So it'll be much easier to go out there and volunteer, because everything will be kept inside and nice and better maintained. So
do you have to have a contractor build the thing, or can the good old boys get together and just get it done?
Well, if you can find the good old boys available to come out and build something like that, and I would very much applaud that, but we are paying a contractor to do it. Nobody has time.
Nobody has. How big is it?
18 by 25.
How big is the one that's out there right now?
There is not really one out there right now. It's the old Santa Shack.
Yes.
It's not that
anywhere near
hasn't
that
held
size.
any of our grooming equipment. That was like just a kind of it was an interesting idea to go out there and have like this library of cross-country skis, but it really just turned into a mouse house. So
hey, you're moving mountains, Dyllan.
not really.
You're moving
Not
mountains.
really. But we did, so I do want to say thanks to all of the donors that helped us get that grant. I think cash match wise, we ended up with over 50% in terms of cash match in order to get that grant. Those grants are required, you got to have a 10% cash match. So I was worried we were going to have a hard time getting the 10% cash match. Well, we started asking for money and telling people what we were doing, and before you know it, they're writing big checks. So the Payne Family Fund was a big donor. Bill Weiner is a doctor up at Munson. He spends a lot of time out there skiing and also grooming. We've had a lot of individuals that have been really helpful. Kevin Postma, Chris Riley, in the past, Ken Blakey Shell. So we've had a lot of really passionate outdoor enthusiasts that help take care of that trail. And the city's been good. So I always want to give props to the city for letting us be out there.
Hey, people talk shit about the city, but the city works.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're just as passionate about stuff like this as you are, as I am.
Yep.
Any of these things, they want to see good, productive progress that's going to be beneficial to the residents.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
don't be a dick.
So So get out there and use the non-motorized trail.
Get out there.
It's a great spot to hike in the summertime. You can walk your dogs. There's rough grouse, kinds of wildlife out there. It's a good spot.
So you've been home now for about 5-6 days now?
5-6 days, yeah.
Yeah. Are you starting to feel a breath of fresh air from all that work travel?
Yeah. I still don't have my suitcase unpacked, but that's coming. Hopefully I'll have laundry done by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, man. I mean, Betsy and I talk about it all the time because we love you. It's like, man, all that travel.
It is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of travel.
I had to laugh. You ever see that movie, is it The Terminal? Is it
With Tom Hanks,
yes.
where he gets trapped? I've seen some of that.
It's like you.
That can't happen to me. I mean,
you're just stuck.
United States citizen.
Perpetually stuck in a terminal.
Well,
always. But you've got to be the best traveler on the planet. What's the other one I saw? I saw a clip from, there's one with George Clooney where he travels for work and he's trying to get like 1 million miles or something. 1 million air miles.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's like a professional firer.
Yeah, he travels around and downsizes companies.
Yeah. And his whole focus on life is to get 1 million miles or some shit.
Yeah. Well, then he does it, and you've seen the movie?
No, I've just seen clips. He does it, and then I'm like,
well, he gets it. He meets this woman who he kind of falls in love with, and then they're traveling around, and she travels a lot, he travels a lot, so then they end up linking up at all these airports, and kind of have this romantic affair. And then he falls in love with her and then tracks her down and shows up at her house, and her husband answers the door. Ooh. And so it's not it's just kind of like a careful what you chase type of thing, but decent movie. Decent movie.
You got to have some good anecdotes from traveling though, some good stories.
I do. I was flying back from Nashville last week. So I connected in Atlanta and flying up to Traverse City. And I was reflecting on the type of people that are on different routes. Okay. So from big airport to big airport, there's a lot of business travelers and people that are focused on something because they're in transit. They're not really gonna be in Atlanta. They're connecting in Atlanta, go someplace else. So they might be going on vacation, but they're still kind of focused on it. Everybody that's traveling from Atlanta to Traverse City in the summertime is going to Traverse City for fun. Okay. They're either coming home to have fun or traveling to have fun. And so I was sitting there reflecting on some of the behavior of people on the plane, and it just occurred to me that it's some of the most entitled people on this route, parents with kids that are just on iPads, no headphones, and the parents are on headphones, so they can't hear the annoying sounds coming off the iPads, but these just kids making noise, kicking seats, they're running up and down the aisles. There's this group of old dudes that was very obvious that they were traveling for a golf trip, and a couple of them were in first class, and it's a long flight from Atlanta to Traverse City is almost 2 hours, and every time they got a drink they would stand up and come back and give shit to the guys that were stuck in coach. A lot of service dogs that are visibly not service dogs,
Yeah, that drives me nuts.
Shih Tzus and Yorkies and, dogs that are more nervous than their owner. That's not a service dog. If you want to bring your dog on the plane, I get it, but, don't lie about being a service dog.
Yeah.
Probably catch a little flack for saying that, but, so yeah, then you land and people are just up in the way. It's how many people can you really get in the aisle at one time when you land? So, yeah.
What did you say when the flight attendants come out and say, okay, what are you talking about?
If you got a short connection.
If you got a short connection, get up first, and everybody all of a sudden
everybody gets up. Yeah. No, people don't care. People don't care about each other when they're traveling. No, it's...
You got to tell the story about the British lady, though. In the overhead compartment. You got to tell. This is a great fucking story.
I'll be the first one to admit that I can get pretty surly when I'm traveling, so I get it. I get it when people are in a bad mood. But we're traveling from Nashville to Atlanta, which
Short
is like
flight.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
And they get everybody packed in. Everybody from Nashville is going to Atlanta because they got to go somewhere. So they've got carry-ons, and they're trying to save money on their vacation. So, like, nobody checks anything. Well, obviously, when's the last time you're on a plane that wasn't, like, 95% full? They're going to run out of bin space. So people that board last get on the plane, and they're, like, looking for bin space. The bin space has been gone for, like, since half the plane was on. Everybody puts all their shit in the top. And so they're like putting water bottles and umbrellas and purses and stuff that's just filling up the overhead bins. So then the last 20% of people get on the plane and there's no room. So then they go and they pull all the little bullshit out of the overhead bins and put it underneath the seat where it's supposed to go. Well, there was one lady who needed her roller bag in the overhead, and like they had already pulled the jetway back. They were trying to get out of here, so it's like the bag can't go under the plane anymore. So they get up to first class, and there's this woman sitting, and they open the bin, and there's like one little tiny purse in like all these roller bags. And it's like obvious that like that little tiny purse is sitting in the same space that this big roller bag needs to go. And so the flight attendant goes, "Whose bag is this?" And this woman goes, "That's mine." And and the flight attendant goes, "Do you mind putting this under your seat so that we can get this roller bag?" And she goes, "Actually, I do mind." And that was it. And the flight attendant's like, he's done this before, so he's like, "Okay, we're not putting it there." And now roller bag woman gets involved. She goes, "You aren't gonna move your bag so that I can put this in this spot? Like that bag will fit under your seat." She goes, "No." And then it starts progressing, like the language increases, and I thought I was going to be witness to a physical altercation on the plane, but there's always magically another spot. So
Yeah.
That's probably what this lady was thinking, but anyway.
She was being a twat, dude.
Those are your words, not mine.
You don't know her. How many flight attendants do you know now?
None.
You got to get on planes
None.
and be like, "Hey."
They rotate everybody.
Do they?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. You can get on the same plane, and they'll switch planes and switch crews. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But I don't work for the airline, so I don't know why they do the things they do. But it doesn't seem to make sense. It doesn't seem to be good for the customer. It doesn't seem to be good for anybody. It just doesn't. It doesn't appear that anybody knows what they're doing. And that's all of them. Every single one of them.
What's your least favorite airport?
My least favorite.
Because like, how many places do you travel? How many?
Well, it's typically I go to the same 8 spots.
Yeah.
So I would say I don't like flying into Memphis.
Why is that?
It's kind of dingy. It's old. It's not very like friendly to get in and out of. The hotels around Memphis are in kind of rough spots. It's just not very nice place. Plus it's 2.5 hours. So I can land in Memphis and go 2.5 hours to get to my mill, or I can land in Nashville and drive 2.5 hours to get to the mill. Nashville's beautiful. Great spot. So I like Nashville over Memphis. Chicago O'Hare. I've never had a good experience in Chicago O'Hare. I don't understand why.
One of the biggest airports in the country.
Yes. I don't know why so many people want to do business with Chicago O'Hare. It does not appear that they know how to run an airport. It does not appear that once an airline is there that they know how to run an airline from that airport. It's hell. O'Hare is hell.
I don't fly, or I don't travel. And I think I was in O'Hare one time, and I had like, I don't know, at the time I thought I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes, but I was on one end of the airport and had to get to the other. And I was like, I literally got there just in time to get on the plane.
Yeah.
You gotta figure that shit out.
Yeah.
these connecting flights.
Yeah. Well, what I've noticed is most of my my layovers are either like no time at all, like 30, 40 minutes, or 3.5, 4 hours. It just doesn't, there's no in between. And so you're either like hauling ass across the airport, hoping that you're going to make it to your plane on time, or, figuring out what you're going to do with half your day. So if you do some soul searching, you really do have to consider if it's worth it to fly these days. If you're, less than 8 hours away from your destination driving.
I mean, you've got to have travel pretty well dialed in, though, at this point in your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I get so irritated with everybody else, because I'm really good at it. And I don't understand.
For me, I would
fail to empathize that, like, it might be somebody's first flight and they don't know where the fuck to go, and you're in my way.
But to me, I would assume that, like, the security check is the worst place to be if you're not in front of or behind a bunch of people that travel like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't know the tricks. Like, don't tie your shoes or some shit.
No, there's no tricks. Just don't bring anything that's prohibited. It's a very short list. No weapons, no fluids. Like, it's simple.
What about the people
simple.
that take the shooters on the little whiskey? I'd have people come to the store all the time like, oh, we need these for our plane ride.
Well, you're not supposed to drink those on the plane. Federal regulations. Okay, but I'm not gonna. So it's less than 3 ounces fluids. Yeah.
So one shooter.
Yeah, that's 1 ounce. You can take. I don't know. I think there is an aggregate. Like, you couldn't take a backpack full of 1 ounces, but you could take. I don't know, a few. A few of them on.
Yeah, maybe they're just saving them for their final destination. Who knows?
I'm sure they are.
But this also makes you uniquely qualified to be on our local airport authority.
I am on the airport authority. Yes. It's an exciting prospect. We have an airport that is fairly unique in our area. For us to have Essential Air Service, which is a federal program which subsidizes commercial air service. So I think right now we're at 12 flights per week, 12 or 14 flights a week in and out of Manistee, going to Chicago. So with Contour Air and nice size planes, excellent cabin experience. Take everything you need to go, and everything you want to bring with you will fit on the plane. That's been a huge improvement from our previous carrier, because those were like 10-seat tiny airplanes, and if 8 dudes like me show up and they're got golf clubs and enough clothes for the weekend, right? Like, not everybody's getting on the plane. Just face the facts. So there was a lot of times when you booked with that carrier that you would essentially be, booking a taxi to Traverse City or Grand Rapids because the plane was going to fill up.
Gotcha.
Likewise, these jets can take off in more not harsh weather conditions, but they can fly in heavier weather than the small planes. And Contour's been a really good partner for the airport, not without bumps in the road. I would say, there's some negative commentary and opinions out there in the community. We got the Contour approval like maybe 30 days before the first scheduled flight from Contour needed to happen, and the last scheduled flight from Cape Air needed to happen. So that transition, they worked really hard to get set up, and all things considered, was a pretty smooth transition through the winter time. The weather plays a really, really serious factor in and out of Manistee, and in and out of Chicago. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
The idea that it's Manistee's problem hasn't been the case frequently it's because of Chicago. So the flights, it's really hard to beat the price of
It's really
of the ticket.
inexpensive.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can run an airline at under $100 a round trip.
Well, that's what the public is paying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the individual is paying.
So explain
the
that.
public, each flight is subsidized by the federal government as part of the Essential Air Service. So basically, the federal government provides Manistee County a subsidy, Manistee Blacker Airport a subsidy, and then we pay Contour to complete those flights. So there's sort of a minimum guarantee on how much money Contour is going to make.
Gotcha.
So the folks that I've worked with at Contour, and I say work with, they listen to me when I have complaints at the public meetings. But they care deeply about their airliner. They care about the customer. They're working really hard to do the best they can. And I think, their effort has been appropriate, and I would say they're doing a lot of good things, making adjustments as they learn. They've only been operating since October,
right.
So that's coming up on a year. We've got a 3-year contract with them. I'm excited to see what the next 2 years brings as they figure everything out and get comfortable operating. The other thing I'm excited about at the airport is we brought in Enterprise Rentals.
I was going to bring that up.
So if you get into the Enterprise national database, Manistee is a station now, so you can rent from Enterprise and in Manistee. So when you arrive on a plane, Enterprise will have your car. Enterprise is also a provider of one-way rentals, and so if you do have air trouble and you can't make it out on time, you have an option to take your car and rent it and drive to Traverse City or drive to Grand Rapids or drive to Chicago. I've done that.
But right now, it's just if you're flying.
I think so, yeah. But their plan is to make it a full-service rental station.
So that I could go there and just rent a car if I needed one without having to be a customer at the airport.
Yeah. The guys from Enterprise have been really great. We have a tiny terminal, so there's been a lot of really good synergy from Contour and Enterprise. They're excited to be working together. I mean, it's better for both of their service to be able to rely on each other.
Who owns the airport? Does the county own the airport?
The airport is operated by an authority. At the end of the day, it's a county-owned asset.
Okay, yeah,
but there is an airport authority that's been established to direct the airport. The airport has a director, so there's somebody representing the airport authority working for the airport.
And then the authorities, who approves these contracts with, or ends
the
a
authority
contract with?
The authority signs. Yep.
What do those look like? Not the contract itself, but like how do you land on? How did you go from Cape Air to Contour? Like, what was the synergy around that?
I wasn't directly involved with that switch. I observed it from the sidelines. So every I think 3 years, the airport essentially does a request for proposal to run service from the airport on a commercial level. So these regional carriers will bid, essentially come in and pitch their service. The airport authority will make a recommendation to the Department of Transportation. I hope I'm getting all this right. And then the Department of Transportation will select the carrier.
Gotcha.
But it's usually under the recommendation of the airport authority. So the airport authority recommended we select Contour, and then the DOT selected contour.
I have a financial impact question.
Okay.
Do you know, I'm sure that there's some data, and how positively the airport, like if we didn't have the airport, what would the difference be in terms of like how much money is brought into the community, into the county? Because
that is a good question. I think what we've observed has been a lot of people will land at the airport and then head to their cottage or to their friend's house or business, and kind of like it kind of, we don't see a huge capture.
Mm-hmm.
There right now there's I would say about six people that work at the airport, that run that airport. Plus there's the contour employees. There is I don't know what the economic development impact is. I may have seen the number, but I don't have it.
I gotta imagine that there is a positive.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
The potential at that airport for corporate employees to be flown in. We have a lot of corporate jets that come in and out. We have connectivity for Arcadia Bluffs is a big user.
Mark Wahlberg was just there.
Their customer base.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Did a nice little video where he was getting ready to tee off first thing in the morning at Arcadia Bluffs.
Oh, okay.
I have it saved somewhere.
Did he fly into Manistee Blacker?
Yeah, I bet maybe not. Maybe it was Traverse City. Who the fuck knows? But he did do a thing where he put on there, he said, at Arcadia Bluffs, this is an amazing golf course, and I can show you the video. It's pretty sick. I'll put a video in here. I'll probably get hit from YouTube for that.
I believe you.
But yeah, I'll show you when we're done.
Sure.
It was actually really cool, He wasn't promoting Wahlburgers or anything like that, but he was definitely like, hey, this is pretty sick. The sun was coming up.
Okay.
So he was, obviously they were probably like, well, you can go out first today, Mr. Wahlberg.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that would be good. I think there's a lot of potential at the airport still. We're with the customer base we're able to provide with Contour now. We're bumping up against simple things like the size of the waiting area past security for people that want to get on the plane. We had to bring in some extra chairs, so a 30-person jet, you're pretty cramped in there if it's a full flight. So the next steps would be terminal expansion. Security areas are always needing to be expanded. Baggage handling. So there could be a terminal project in the future, I would say. And the other part is there's a large area around the terminal that's owned by the airport, and I think that there's opportunity there for development, property that has been retained because it's so close to the airport. You can't build a 6-story resort or something like that, but fire hall or different kinds of public work could happen there. So, but who knows? In 3 years, the whole airport authority could be different, and maybe they just want to make it a quiet little airport again, and who knows?
I think it's rad. I think it's going in the right direction for sure. With the rental cars and everything, I think you guys are doing a great job out there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
For everybody who's watching or listening, though, like, what else are you into? Because sometimes I'll get a text message from you, and it's like you're out doing something. I'm like, how the fuck did you get roped into that? Because you're on the airport authority and obviously Shoreline.
Yep.
And what other committees are we?
I sit on the Chamber of Commerce board.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest I try to save a little bit of time for myself to enjoy.
You're full of shit.
So
that's not even true. It's almost like you pile all this stuff on so that you don't have any time for yourself.
I don't know about that.
Come on.
Could be. Who knows?
Are you missing the bike
Yeah.
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 We got to do more of that, dude. When you're home, we got to just get on the bike and go, even if it's just 10 miles and a couple of beers.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like that. I would like that a lot. There's so much to do, though. Everybody needs help, so hard to say no.
Yeah. Senator Walker. I think we can move in that direction. I think I still have. I put like a whole thing together and like how to help launch your campaign.
Funny story. I was flying into Traverse City, and it was one of my 35-minute layovers, and the plane left 10 minutes late, so really hustling.
Yeah.
Of course, from one end of Concourse A to the other end of Concourse B, and I make it in. They're doing the thing where the whole airport hears Dyllan Walker, please proceed to your gate immediately for on-time departure. And I run onto the plane, I sit down, I look over, and holy shit, it's John Molinar. So I got our congressman, John Molinar, so I got to sit next to him on a flight. And
you didn't get in his ear about anything?
No, I don't. Yeah, I get it. He's a public service. He's a member of Congress, and he's public service. It's I talked to him a little bit, said thanks for his support of the community and what he's done for us, and his presence, when he can be here when he's not in session. And I wasn't gonna chew his ear for the whole 45-minute flight. That's, nobody wants to really talk to a stranger for a whole flight. So it's not, it's just not what you do. So I get that, but
The guy's just trying to get home.
exactly.
He's just trying to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a long session.
But I thought about it too, because I sat down, and sometimes I can be a little bombastic when I'm surprised. So I said, Congressman Molinar.
Did you really?
Yeah. and I was like, oh God, I hope I didn't blow his cover. Like you said, the poor guy's just trying to get home. So.
Were you in first class?
No.
We were riding with the people.
We were both in Maine.
Riding with the people. Nice.
Yep.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
It's not Nancy Pelosiing it up front.
I don't know. I don't know about her travel habits.
She probably gets a good deal. Now, see, if you would have sat down by Nancy, I would have said, did you get any stock tips?
Ooh. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Jury's out, I guess.
I can't get into the weeds with you. I know. I promised I wasn't going to get in the weeds with you. But that's all right. Yeah. We're about an hour in. Do you want to have some lunch?
Yeah.
And see what's
Thanks for having me.
Oh. Next time, we gotta go hard.
On what?
And we can get political in here if you want.
Okay.
Do you want to do it now?
No.
Next time we'll have a few
do
beers.
another one.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming
With some
on.
disclosures. Thanks.